analysis of local and national legal issues. It's CBS 2's Sidebar.
Today we're talking legal issues not only with our legal analyst David Wohl, but he brought a special guest for us via telephone. That is Court TV's Nancy Grace. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today on these legal issues. David, we're talking Michael Jackson.
Absolutely, and the Court TV super hostess and soon-to-be CNN headline news host of her own talk show, my friend Nancy Grace, joins us. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you guys for having me.
Well, listen, Nancy, Court TV is covering this Jackson case. I was up there on Monday. I'm real concerned about this jury pool, at least from a defense perspective, because this seems to be a very blue-collar, no-nonsense, nuts and bolts jury pool. Certainly not what the defense wants. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm a little stunned, David Wohl, that you wouldn't want a no-nonsense jury. Are you suggesting that ordinary, everyday working people might not believe Jackson? I mean, really, take a look at him and his bizarre behavior over the past few years. And let me remind you, pulling your leg, David, you're dead on. When a blue-collar, working-class jury sees this documentary, the BBC documentary by Bashir, and they see Michael Jackson where he alludes to his sleepovers with little boys, it's like the emperor's new clothes. Everybody in that courtroom will be able to see some very bizarre behavior.
Nancy, you as a prosecutor, I know you're 100 victories-wise. When you had a victim that went out, initially denied the molest, and then hired a PI, plaintiff's lawyer, and then said, yes, I was molested, I was given alcohol, all these horrible things happened to me, how do you handle that type of quagmire when you're prosecuting?
Well, you're right to an extent, David. There's going to be a problem on cross-examination, but I see the problem a lot more with the boy's mother. She's the one that went out and hired the PR. She's the one that will be orchestrating a civil suit. But the reality is both things can be true. Both things. What do I mean? I mean that the boy's family may be out for money. That could be true. And it could be true that the boy was molested. One does not preclude the other.
Absolutely. I agree, Nancy. And we have other issues. I mean, Nancy, the book, and I know that Diane Diamond broke this, a book called The Boy. The defense says it's an art book, but it was seized with a bunch of can't-be-called pornography. I mean, how is that going to hurt Jackson? I know, I've heard you say a rose by any other name is a rose, but how does this affect the defense's quest to get an acquittal?
What? They can call it whatever they want to. David is referring to the judge's ruling. I was a little surprised at Melville. There was pornography, barely legal teen pornography. You know, it's basically adult women that have made themselves look like illegals. There's pictures of naked boys in various positions. There's apparently pictures, from what I have been told, of grown-ups with younger people that look like boys. The judge has decided that that cannot be called pornography in the courtroom.
Hey, Nancy.
I guess he thinks that's a jury decision, too. How will it hurt? It'll hurt like crazy for the defense when it comes into evidence.
Hey, Nancy.
Especially, David, if it's true that Michael Jackson's fingerprints, along with the boys, are on the same page of one of these magazines.
Agreed, Nancy. Let me just say, February 21st, CNN headline news, the Nancy Grace Show. We all look forward to it, Nancy.
Hey, David, thank you a lot. I hope you come on as my guest. We're actually going to debut, here's a surprise, on Feb 20 on CNN Sunday night, 8 p.m., and then we switch over the 21st to Headline News. David, you've got to come on with me.
I most certainly will.
I've always appreciated what you did for Court TV out in Redwood City. And one last thing on Michael Jackson, it's all about the boy. If he cracks on cross-exam, it's over.
Thank you, Nancy. We love you.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nancy Grace of Court TV and soon-to-be CNN Headline News. And as always, David Wohl.
Thanks, Brooke. It was a pleasure. And thanks to Nancy. It was great, huh?
Sure was. Coming up.